Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Monday, December the 11th, 2023. Hope all of you are having a great start to your week. I hope you had a productive weekend. As I always state at the beginning of the shows, I appreciate all of you subscribing to the channel, taking your valuable time to watch these videos, to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, hit the bell notification, and please share them with your family, friends, colleagues, and coworkers so we can continue to spread the word as far and wide as possible about the current economic conditions, and even more importantly, what is coming in 2020-24, which will affect all of us. So again, thank all of you for your response to the channel and your comments. It means a lot to me. I saw a couple articles today that I thought were important. Maybe I think they were last night or this morning, and I wanted to share with all of you. The first, just briefly, I want to address the markets. Stock market was a little, Dow was up a little bit today. S&P and NASDAQ were flat. Oil, I think, was relatively flat. It's in the low 70s. Cryptocurrencies got hammered. It looked like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP were all down about 6 or 7%. Likewise, gold and silver got clubbed. So why? I don't know. We have some Fed action this week. We have CPI coming out, I believe, as well. So keep an eye on what's going on. The charade continues. Look, I've said before on this channel, I'm a big proponent. I have some cryptos, but I'm a big proponent of holding real assets, holding hard assets. Silver and gold, I believe, are a tremendous way to hedge a downside loss if this economy and the markets fall out and the housing market continues to fall. It's a great way to be your own bank. It's a great way to have some available liquidity in the event that you need it. It's a great way to have a savings account outside of the banking system. So everyone has to do what is right for them, evaluate their own needs and their own strategies. But look, holding silver and gold, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a long-term proposition. So, when I don't even really pay attention anymore to daily price moves. I do check it once or twice a day just to see what's going on, what the sentiment is. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. If the gold goes down $30, goes up $30, it makes no difference to me because my horizon with this stuff is on a longer term. And look, we all know if you're in that space, it is also the paper products of gold and silver are a heavily manipulated tool. We know banks have been hit with huge fines over many, many years for manipulating the metals markets. And it seems to me it continues. As soon as gold started to get close to 2,000, silver started to get close to 25, it kept getting banged back down. So anyway, got to have some strong hands for this stuff, folks, and that's why you have to do your own homework, do your own research. Okay, so the first article is from CNBC, and it was entitled "More." I've dealt with this before on the show. I think briefly about consumers having to tap into their retirement accounts to borrow money to pay for everyday living expenses or to pay off other debts. It's a slippery slope, and I want to bring it to everyone's attention again today because it's back on the front page of This Is the Mainstream now. It says more retirement savers are borrowing from their 401k plan. Those are leading indicators, it says, of economic stress. And it says more retirement savers have taken loans from their 401k accounts over the past year, suggesting the U.S. households are borrowing more readily as they feel the pinch of inflation. It says, this author says, I think 401k loans like credit card debt are kind of leading indicators of economic stress in America. This is according to David Blanchett, a certified financial planner and head of retirement research at PGIM, the asset management arm of Prudential Financial. It says individuals are having to tap their retirement savings because they have to pay for or pay back something. Listen to these statistics. It's going in the wrong direction, guys, like everything else. It says about 2.6% of savers, or roughly 138,000 people, took a loan from their workplace plan in the third quarter of this year, borrowing an average of $10,778, according to Empower, an account administrator, which analyzed its internal data on 5.3 million accounts. That share increased from 2.3% in quarter three of last year and 1.7% for quarter three in 2020. It says, similarly, Fidelity Investments, the nation's largest 401k administrator, saw 2.8% of savers, or 641,000 people, take loans in the third quarter, an increase of 2.4% during the same period last year. Look, I mean, retirement accounts are supposed to be sacred. And the reason why is that, in the normal course of things, you work, you contribute to these 401k plans, and they are meant for one reason, for retirement. So you can afford to retire someday and live off of what you have accumulated in your 401k plan. Now, I'm not going to get into the benefits and detriments of 401k plans or my view on that, but safe to say a lot of people are relying on these 401k plans to retire. If that money's not there, if they pull loans out and they're not able to repay those loans, not even getting into what the consequences of that are. There's penalties, there's early withdrawal concerns, but the money's not there. The principal's been reduced, and therefore the quality of your retirement will be reduced, and you may not be able to retire for several more years beyond where you thought you wanted to be set up at. That's not well stated, but you know what I mean. It says about 17.6% of investors, or more than 4 million people, have an outstanding loan to their 401k, which said Fidelity, which analyzed 22.9 million accounts. So almost 20% have an outstanding 401k loan right now. That share has jumped from 17.2% in the second quarter and 16.8% quarter three 2022. Says they're attributing the rise in prevalence due to inflation and cost of living pressures as well. It says regular income may not cover all of expenses if raises have not kept up with the increased cost of living. We know that. Raises and wages have not kept up with the pace of inflation. So there's a delta there, and people are having to come up with this money some other way. If you can start your own businesses, folks, please look into that. Start a side hustle. Maybe that would provide you with just that little extra to make up the difference from what you're not, or for what you're having to pay out this year over last for the higher cost of goods. And it says that, and then lastly, it says the amount of the 401k loans has also jumped. An average worker took $15,000 loan in 2022, which is up from $10,000 between 2018 and 2021. So not only the frequency of the loans increasing, but the amount of the 401k loans is also increasing. So if you're one of those people that's forced to do that, obviously it's better that you have access to those resources than not. But I sure hope that you're able to put that money back and continue as usual. The fear would be if you're pulling money out to pay off some other debt, you're not even getting any benefit of that. Yes, you're getting the benefit of having some other debt paid off, but you're just transferring one debt to another debt, albeit possibly at a lower interest rate. I get that it's a consolidation technique, but I think it's a sad state. It's a sad state of where we're at right now. It's a symptom of an unhealthy consumer and unhealthy economy. Next article I want to address. And for all of you people that are believers in safe deposit boxes, we talk about banks. We talk about holding some of your own money, having resources set aside outside of the system. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but a couple of years ago, there was a raid on a private vault. It was in March of 2021. So about 3.5 years ago, there was a big raid, FBI raid, on a private vaulting company in Beverly Hills, California. And what ended up happening was what it says is on March 22nd of 2021, the FBI seized around 1,400 safe deposit boxes from U.S. private vaults, a Beverly Hills-based company that, according to court documents, was regularly used by, quote, unsavory characters to store criminal proceeds. It says agents took about $86 million in cash from the boxes, as well as a trove of jewelry, gold bars, coins, silver, and other valuables. They also removed wills, trusts, and other financial documents that were in those safe deposit boxes. It says, in May of that year, the FBI commenced administrative forfeiture proceedings against an unspecified number of the boxes, according to court documents. It explains civil asset forfeiture is the process through which the government seizes money or other property believed to be linked to crime without ever having to charge the owner. And in this case, the owner of the vault did end up eventually pleading guilty to money laundering. But as of October of last year, it says the U.S. Attorney's Office said it had not filed any other criminal charges. So all the people that weren't wrapped up in the criminal charges, where there was alleged no wrongdoing against the other holders of these boxes, they had their assets taken. They had their assets removed from the boxes. The assets have not been returned to them, to my understanding, is what this article is saying. So look, it might have been convenient for you to have this private vault around the corner, have some things not at your house, what have you, as an alternative to maybe a bank's safe deposit box. I imagine that the majority of the people that had boxes there were not involved in any criminal wrongdoing and were victims as well. But you need to keep that in mind because if you don't hold it, you don't own it. We hear that all the time as it pertains to gold and silver and having possession of physical assets. Yes, you always have to be mindful of security issues and do your best to provide alternatives. But this is another nightmare scenario, that unfolded where people, unsuspecting people, had their valuables taken. And now, of course, there's a big court battle going on. And, the interesting part about this article is evidently the warrant the FBI originally obtained allowed or authorized the agents to seize business computers, money counters, and surveillance equipment. The judge also, in that initial warrant, allowed them to seize safety deposit boxes and keys, but specifically wrote that agents should only inspect the contents of the boxes in an effort to identify their owners so they can claim their property. And that the warrant does not authorize a criminal search or seizure of the contents of those boxes. So evidently, the contents of the boxes were seized. I don't, have any more specifics about other than I'm reporting to you here. Was the scope of the warrant exceeded? Possibly. But at the end of the day, a lot of innocent people still are without their assets, their gold bars, their silver. They said there was a lot of watches and jewelry and things of that nature taken, as well as people's personal, financial, and estate planning documents. So use your own judgment again. Word of caution relative to any kind of third-party custodian where you don't have access and control over your belongings and your things. With that being said, we're at about 13 minutes. Hope you guys found the content interesting and useful. I am going to go grab a workout here in about an hour and a half. Been a long day drafting that injunction motion. Been going from early this morning. I worked late last night on another file to get some stuff drafted. So again, it's the good and the bad of having your own business. At least when you work for yourself, guess what? That money goes in your pocket, folks. It's not going in your boss's pocket. And so, you know what? It's easier from my perspective to work those long hours and to put that extra time in, when it's directly going down, it's flowing down for the benefit of you and your family. So keep that in mind relative to investigating your own business, your own side hustle. Everyone, please get your workout in today. Like I said, I'm going to get mine in pretty quick here. Get your steps in, do some walking. Please get some strength training in, push-ups, sit-ups. Keep hydrated. With that being said, I hope all of you have a great evening, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye.